Okay, Teofimo Lopez has something interesting to say about Canelo Alvarez and a fight with the Charlos. Let's go ahead and get into it right quick.
TEOFIMO says Jamal deserves Canelo fight. Jamal Charlo, said TEOFIMO Lopez to Fight Hype when asked who deserves a shot against Canelo. Charlo deserves that shot, and the Charlos have been making a lot of noise. I'm not just talking about Jamal. I'm also talking about Jermell. They've done their thing. A shout out to the Charlo brothers. Lions only, and I give them all that. They should be on the pound for pound list. I call it, the fans win. It's awesome, said TEOFIMO when asked who wins between Canelo and Jamal. Charlo has more than earned the Canelo fight a long time ago, and he would have forced his hand if not for the World Boxing Council. David Benavidez. Jamal Charlo. When Jamal was Canelo's WBC mandatory at 160 in 2019, the sanctioning body gave the Mexican star the franchise tag and elevated Charlo to the regular WBC champion. If the WBC hadn't done that, Canelo would have had to fight Charlo, vacate or have the belt stripped from him. We'll never know which move Canelo would have made because the WBC took it out of his hands by giving him the franchise tag.
You know why I like that Teofimo Lopez came out and said this? Because as of this time, a lot of Canelo supporters has got behind Teofimo Lopez, even though they wasn't behind him prior to him beating the shit out of Vasily Lomachenko. They were pro Vasily Lomachenko fans, but I like Teofimo that he came out and said this, because being that, you know, these guys are now backing Teofimo Lopez, simply from a Latino point of view, it's great because it's interesting to hear somebody who they're currently bandwagon, who they have jumped on, come out and say something that is truthful, you know. And that's one of the things I like about Teofimo Lopez. And at the same time, you have detractors and haters of Teofimo Lopez who seem to be talking a lot of shit, you know, because of this, because of Devin Haney or whatever. They're also big Charlo supporters, you know. So it puts these two kind of people in an interesting position when he says stuff like this, okay? Because what he said is true. I can't speak on Jamal, but Jamel should be on the pound for pound. And plenty of people ask why he's not on the pound for pound. We kind of just ease over. Even I recognize that Jamal Charlo should be on the pound for pound. But most importantly than that, he said these guys have more than earned their shot. Now, it's interesting to see the Canelo fans who claim that they are Teofimo Lopez fans. It's interesting to see what they're going to say about him after he make a comment like this. I'm pretty sure they probably going to try to shit on him because they don't have it real enough in their hearts to recognize what he said was actually accurate. So I'm pretty sure they'll throw him back to the trash now. Now, on the other side of the fence, you have the pro PBC, the pro Devin Haney fans. It's interesting to see what they're going to say now that they talk so much shit about Teofimo Lopez that he actually suggested one of the fighters that they love so much, or these two fighters they love so much, he has suggested that these guys have earned a shot. It's interesting to see, will they now use him as some kind of credibility, even though that they've been trying to discredit him the whole time. Boxing is a weird ass, funny ass, feminine ass sport is what these guys have made it into. But that's why I love using Teofimo Lopez, because he has both sides of that dynamic, and it holds up a mirror. So if you support this guy so much, is he talking crazy now that he said Charlos deserve a shot? If he's so much of a ducker, he's so much bullshitting, and he's so much this and he's so much that, is he still all that, even though he told the world something that you pro PBC fans have been basically trying to say to everybody else, but nobody's been paying attention? See, I pay attention to both sides. I realize where there's truth and I realize where there's falsehood, okay? And the Charlos have been deserved a shot with Canelo, but Canelo fans will never like that or never accept that. I just find it funny because they're currently rallying and loving the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. It's just interesting to see, will they shit on him now? It's just interesting to see, can the PBC still shit on Teofimo Lopez now? because he helps out your campaign. And it's true. They deserve it. Why have they not got the shots? Because you're talking about the politics of boxing. Or should I say the racial politics of boxing, the aspect of boxing that nobody wants to claim that exists, that nobody wants to talk about, that everybody claims that they get turned off on, but everybody secretly operates out of this pocket. This is why it's so annoying to talking about boxing, because until you can put all of it on the table, then you can't be accurate about anything. Yes, the Charlos deserve a fucking shot. He said they've been doing their thing, and they have. They have. To a lesser extent, Jamal. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you know, if all these other guys could get shots that ain't really did shit, that ain't about to, if all these, how many unknown overseas guys has Canelo fought? Y'all didn't know who the fuck Rocky Fielding was. Let's be honest. Y'all don't know who these guys is until Canelo put them on his dinner plate. We don't be knowing who these guys are. Let's just be real. But we want to build them. It's just like Vasily Lomachenko and Luke Campbell. You didn't know who the fuck Luke Campbell was prior to Vasily Lomachenko. Yeah, I mean, they may know him over. I'm talking about in America. Nobody knew who he was. So that's the same thing was going on here. And this is the problem with fucking boxing. This is why I don't take the sport seriously no more, because it's just so much bullshit in here that it's ridiculous. And fights don't get made, and people create roadblocks for fights because of girl reasons. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want my fighter to lose to this fighter. They're never going to come out and say that, but that's what it is, because nobody's willing to throw their fighter in the fire. Nobody's willing to gamble with their fighter. Everybody got to go do something. You know, when it's an easy fight, they want it made like that. Okay. When it's a fight that they think that they're going to have a tough time winning, they have to go do something first. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is an extremely fucked up sport because you have so many people operating out of tribalism. Therefore, when you talk or try to be accurate, you can't even be accurate on skill set because people are operating out of tribalism. But nonetheless, it's boxing's fault because this is how they sell it to you, because they feel like they can't sell it to you unless they get you behind it because of this, behind it because of that, and this, that, and the third. That's why I say to talk about boxing without talking about all the elements to which entails in boxing and judging boxing, then you're not really fucking talking boxing, because you could be talking to a pro-American, pro-UK, pro-Mexican, pro-Latino, pro-black, pro-Japanese, pro-this, pro that. And that is going to interfere at the end of the day of two people just talking about fucking boxing. Because this motherfucker feels a certain kind of way because they're Filipino. So I don't want you saying anything about Pacquiao. This person's going to feel a certain kind of way because I'm Mexican. And I don't want nobody talking about Canelo. Blah, 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 blah. This, that, the third. And then you just got some people who just flat out PBC obsessed. Their content is all PBC. Their tweets, their Twitter is all PBC bashing. Everything they do is PBC. They don't operate out, meaning the only people they want to criticize, the only people they want to talk shit about, the only people they want to make memes about, make jokes about, make cracks about, make this is all PBC. But they do not extend that to no other section, no other group, no other demographic of people in boxing. It's just constantly talk shit about PBC. Like they are the only ones who do some shit that we don't like. Okay? Like Al Heyman is the only promoter that does some shit that we don't like. Everybody else do fucked up shit. We glaze over it. We don't really dwell on this shit like that. De La Hoya can make racist emails from here to Pacoima. It doesn't fucking matter. We glaze over it. But as soon as there's a little fraction of anything we don't like coming from the PBC or coming from Al Heyman, we're making 916,000 videos. We're making 915,000 tweets. We're complaining about how boxing is fucked up and how they're fucking up boxing and how they're not fighting the best and this, that, and the third. Okay? Canelo want to go out and fight his sparring partner. Okay, that's fine. Leave him alone. He doesn't have to do anything. He's the face of boxing. You guys need to earn a shot. Sit down and shut up. You're jealous. And that's the problem with the fucking sport. But I had to use Teofimo Lopez because currently now some of y'all are on his jockstrap and some of y'all are on the hate train. But it put both of y'all in an awkward position where somebody's going to have to recognize that the guy's just telling the fucking truth at the end of the day. He can't be as bad as you guys tried to make him out to be. And he's one of the only guys who's ever came out and say the Charlos deserve a shot. Okay? You can't be so pro Teofimo Lopez, love everything he doing, but yet when he criticized the same guy who you guys love so much, you can't throw him to the wolves now. You can't say, oh, he's irrelevant. Oh, fuck Teofimo Lopez. That's why it's interesting and it's great for people like him to keep it real when it comes to boxing. That's why he's one of the people that I like in boxing. If you help out the sport and you make the sport better or some shit like that, I like you for it and I promote you. That's why I big up Teofimo Lopez on my channel. That's why I big up Anthony Joshua on my channel, or anybody else who does right, because it helps the sport. The shit you guys do, the babysitting, the policing, the finger pointing, the constant complaining about one group in boxing, that shit don't fucking help boxing. You make boxing more into theater. It's more let's play favorites kind of shit. It's not about two guys winning there and actually threw the fuck down because they got a best skill set, because you guys will never let that situation happen because you don't want to see the outcome. You don't want to know that your guy is not the fucking best. You don't want to know that he's really been smoke screened this entire damn time, that he avoids certain kind of fighters, that these fighters will come in and beat his ass. You don't want that because you live vicariously through a fucking grown man. And most of these men are millionaires, and y'all live through grown men, millionaires, and think they need your sympathy, and think they need your protection, and think they need your excuses, and think they need your death threats, and think they need your this, and think they need your that. Stop living vicariously through grown fucking men who make 10 times, 20 times more than what you'll ever make and your grandkids will ever make. It don't make no fucking sense. Okay, they don't need you Kevin Costner in their ass, okay? They don't need a fucking bodyguard. They fight for a fucking living. These are grown fucking men. They don't need you babysit them and fucking crying. That's all y'all do is fucking cry about what person's not doing that. Put your fighter up. I put my fighter up all the time. Any fighter I never like, I never suggest, oh no, I don't want him to fight this. Oh no. I want him to fight everybody who you think he doesn't want to fight and who you want to see him fight. I'm for that for Anthony Joshua. I'm for that for Teofimo Lopez. Anybody I like, Caleb Plant on down. It doesn't matter. But you fanboys don't fucking talk like that. But at the end of the day, yes, the Charlos deserve. They've been there. They've been there this entire. If anything, they deserve it for just fucking being there. Stop being obsessed with hating on somebody and just look at the fucking sport. Unplug your feminine energy from what you feel about these men, because you have no right to have all this energy, negative energy towards these guys. Okay, so they don't take some fights you like. Some of your favorite fighters don't take a lot of fights that we don't like. You don't give them the same smoke. You don't talk shit like that. That's what I'm saying. This sport is full of bitches. All right? And most importantly, full of bitches. The content creators who create off this sport is straight bitches. Most of y'all are hoes. And people wonder why I'm so vulgar with the shit, because I operate off the rules of if everything was in the flesh. And I know how people don't act when shit is in the flesh. Shit gets rectified in the flesh. You see a man's heart in the flesh. You see his bitch in the flesh. Because in real time, you can't hide from nothing. That's why in the flesh is always where it's at. When I speak, when I operate as a man that if you were talking to me, this is what you would get in the flesh. And I know in the flesh, half you won't keep that same energy. Half you won't even let people know what you really don't like. All right? You only got courage behind a keyboard. You only got courage behind a computer screen. But in a crowd, you'll be a lot more meek. You'll be tend to agree. You'll be more civil. You'll be more understanding. How do I know? Because I'm around y'all. Okay? I'm around y'all every day. All right? I see what you do and what you don't do. What you say and what you don't say. You guys are not really about it at the end of the day. Shut the fuck up. All right? Stop being a woman. And just look at boxing for boxing. Because at the end of the day, this sport don't deserve all your damn energy like it do. Because it's too dirty and it's too fucking fake. Just have fun and appreciate it where it's at. It ain't no fucking big deal. Mexican get his ass whooped. Black dude can get his ass whooped. Okay? White boy can get his ass whooped. It don't mean that you have to live vicariously through whether they ass is laying on the concrete or the canvas or not. Grow the fuck up.